News from the street, 919fm.com. Here's what's happening.
Good afternoon. I am Vanessa Thomas with the 12 o'clock news on the Street 919 FM and online Facebook and YouTube, sponsored by the Sea Champion. In the headlines, another person dies due to COVID-19. A man is charged with sexual offences against 3 female minors. Man killed in St. Augustine, a woman is detained, and internationally heaviest rains in 100 years affect 500,000 in Ethiopia. And now the news in detail. The Ministry of Health, in its 10 o'clock daily virus media update, stated that the country has recorded another COVID-19 death. The ministry said the victim is an elderly female with pre-existing health conditions. This brings the total number of deaths to 56. The ministry also stated that 42 additional people have tested positive for COVID-19. However, it said that these cases represent results from samples taken between September 4th and 14th and is not representative of the positive cases over the last 24 hours only. The total figure for confirmed COVID-19 cases currently stands at 3,183, with 2,329 of those being active. In other news, a 38-year-old man has been charged with sexual offences against 3 female minors. The suspect was held during a sting operation over the weekend, having been in hiding from the police since May 2020. Reports state that on April 12, 2020, 2 of the girls, ages 6 and 10, were taken to a river by a man who was known to the family. The girls say while there, the man sexually assaulted the 6-year-old in the presence of the 10-year-old and then masturbated in their presence. A report was made, and during the course of the investigation, officers found that the man had been forcing a 12-year-old girl to have sex since March 2020. The man has now been charged with 3 counts of sexual penetration of a child, 1 count of sexual touching of a child, and 1 count of inciting a child to engage in sexual activity. And a 51-year-old taxi driver has been charged with 2 counts of sexual touching of a 12-year-old girl. According to reports, officers of the Child Protection Unit were alerted to the abuse on July 25th. The victim told the police that while her mother was at work, a man entered her bedroom and sexually assaulted her. The suspect was arrested on September 12th during a sting operation. A 35-year-old man is dead following a confrontation with a woman in St. Augustine. The deceased has been identified as Kavon Goddard of Orange Grove Road. Police were told that at about 9 p.m. last evening, officers received a report of domestic violence at the aforementioned address. When officers arrived at the scene, they found a man lying on the ground bleeding from a stab wound. He was rushed to hospital, however. About an hour later, he succumbed to his injuries. The woman has since been detained and is aiding police with their inquiries. International news now. More than 500,000 people have been affected by severe flooding in Ethiopia, with some places recording the heaviest rains in a century. About 200,000 people have been left homeless by the floods, which have swept through at least 5 of Ethiopia's 10 regions. The floods have killed livestock, destroyed crops, and damaged homes and public infrastructure to an extent not seen in decades. As the situation worsened in recent days, the government has started helicopter missions to provide relief to the worst affected areas. Meanwhile, neighboring Sudan has also been hit by the severe flooding. And that was the 12 o'clock news on the Street 919 FM and online Facebook and YouTube, sponsored by the Sea Champion. Recapping the headlines, another person dies due to COVID-19. A man is charged with sexual offences against 3 female minors. Man killed in St. Augustine, a woman is detained, and internationally heaviest rains in 100 years affect 500,000 Ethiopians. Stay tuned for sport news at 1 p.m. with Jason Shields, a news update at 2 p.m., another at 3, and major news at 4. I am Vanessa Thomas. Do enjoy your afternoon.